Alright, what's up guys? This is episode 3 of C++ for Beginners. This is Wes, and let's see if we can carry off from where we left off. So, last time we did a Hello World program, and let's see if we can move on and start doing some input. So, alright, so let's start. Let's do some input. So, in this video, we're going to use our first integer. We talked about, let me pull it back up. Talked about functions. We did a function last time. One function we did was cin, and now we're going to talk about some data types. So the first one, data types easiest to use is integer. So we're going to use integer right now. So let me zoom in a little bit and get this started. Alright, so we got our main right here. We don't need to change anything else. Still going to be using the same include file. Still going to be using namespace std, just make stuff easier for us. And we're going to start typing right now. So first thing we need to do is initialization. Initialization is the first thing that starts out your program. When you open your code block, you initialize all your variables and stuff that you're going to use. So we're going to use an integer, but in front of the integer you can put whatever variable you want. Whatever variable you can do with anything. So you can do int ball, int dog, int cat, int freestyle, int whatever you want. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to say int number. So we're going to do int number. And a lot of times it's good to initialize to 0, because if you don't initialize it to 0, it could be some crazy number that your computer just draws from memory. So, just initialize 0. It's really easy. Just initialize 0. So what we're going to do is take an input. So we're going to use our cout function we used last time and say, enter a number. We're going to say enter a number. Maybe put a little exclamation mark at the end, show you mean business. So we're going to say enter a number, and now we're going to take in the number that the user is going to enter with our cin function. There's cout and cin, input output. We talked about an IO stream, input output stream, and let's go. So now what you want to do with this, I didn't really explain the arrows, doesn't really mean anything, it's just different. When you're doing cout, you point it outwards, and we do it cin, you're going to point it inwards. You're not going to use the arrows for anything else, don't worry about the arrows. Just stuff you have to memorize just for these two functions. So we're going to do cin, and we're going to take in for number. So we tell the user to enter in a number, and we're going to store that in our integer we made, number. That's all we're doing right here. We're taking the input, whatever they enter, we're telling the program to store it in number. So number is what the user is going to enter in. So maybe we can, what can we do? We can drop some lines. I'm going to show you, this is going to be very useful when you get in your programs. This is like cleans up your programs, make it looks neat. This is called a new line function. No, new line, like a new line character. A new line character, when you type, all your stuff's going to be on the same line. So when we want to print something else out, it's going to be on the same line. Like if I want to print out another sentence, it's going to be on the same line as this one in the black box in our command line that we made our other program in. So what we want to do is we want to drop down a new line to separate this, make it look more cleaner. And maybe I should just print it out just to show you what it looks like. So what we're going to do, we're going to cout number. We're going to say, here is your number. And we're going to, how we're going to do it? We're going to say number, I think. Just make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, we're doing this right. I've been doing a lot of C lately. I'm just like getting right back into C++ for y'all, but it's no big deal. You'll find yourself when you get into software switching over languages all the time. I do C, C++, AutoIt, and now I'm getting into iOS, but it's not a big deal. So when you want to put variables inside your printout statement, when you want to put variables inside of your like the stuff you print to the screen, You can't just put number in here. It's going to be red. Like, let's say we want to print out our integer number. We can't put number in here. It's just going to be red. It's going to print out the word number. So what you need to do is you need to end your thing right here, but don't put a terminating character. Here we ended it off with a terminating character, so we know we're done with this function. But we're not done with this function. You end it with a quotation, and we're going to put out number, our actual variable, and then we're going to end that with a terminating function. And you can put as much you want. You can say here's your number, and then you can open it back up and point to that and say there's your number and all that. But you can keep on using as much arrows as you want to. But we're going to end it off here. We're going to say here's your number, and maybe put a little space in between this and number. So let me see if I have anything left, and we're going to do a get char at the end just to hold our position. Actually, put it regular, just to hold our position. So so yeah, I'm gonna show you what this looks like without a new line. Then I'm gonna come back and put a new line in. But it's all right. Enter number and 1. Here's your number. So that's all our program does. Takes the number, it prints it out. It's using our integer number. It's printing back out to the screen. So let's clean up a little bit. Let's make it a little better. Let's put some new lines in it. Put some new line function, and I'll show you putting one more thing. Is it? There is your number. And we're going to put a little arrow pointing backwards to our integer number. So let me see, we have enter number, regular stuff. And let's just do this one more time, then I'll move on to get into decision statements. So enter a number, and you might like even here, like it doesn't look right. Like in programming, like I don't know, I don't like having my software programs like this. I like putting it, dropping it to a new line when you're taking in input. It just looks weird taking on the same line. It's like just too. My bad, guys. My video messed up. What's it called? Yeah, I had F9 for like starting compiling and running my program. F9 was the same for the recording feature for Fraps, and I guess it's my fault. What I was talking about in here was you can make this look a lot neater. You want to add new line functions to this right here, and it just looks better. Like when you come your console, you don't like numbers all being jumbled up together. So you have more space. It looks more cooler. And, I don't know, more smoother. So you have enter number, and we have 2. There, here's your number, and there's your number. We added that into it. So, yeah, it's basically how you take an input. Really simple. I'll have the code on MediaFire or something if you need to download it. But let's take this. It's not into the episode. Let's take this and incorporate into another program. So what we're gonna do is erase this get char and see out right here.